Oregon's workforce system is dynamic, and we are all part of it. The purpose of this presentation is to provide an understanding of Oregon's workforce system and our roles as individuals within that system. The workforce system is primarily funded through the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, or WIOA, which was signed into law in July of 2014. The law contains 4 separate titles that apply to the various programs we will discuss here. Opportunity Act funds are issued by Congress and allocated to 3 federal agencies: the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the U.S. Department of Education, and the U.S. Department of Labor. Each of these federal agencies further regulates the funding and monitors its use, respective to each agency's workforce programs. The funds are then distributed to each state and the appropriate state agencies. In Oregon, the core workforce system agencies are the Oregon Department of Human Services, the Oregon Employment Department, and the Higher Education Coordinating Commission's Office of Workforce Investments. Their activities are overseen by the Governor and the Oregon Workforce Investment Board, which is the overall advisory board to the Governor on workforce matters. Each of these state agencies oversees one or more workforce programs throughout Oregon. The Department of Human Services, or DHS, provides an array of services to Oregonians, including children's services, senior services, assistance services, and employment services. There are some essential assistance and employment programs that align closely with other workforce system initiatives. The Temporary Assistance for Needy Family Programs, or TANF, provides cash assistance to low-income families with children while they strive to become self-sufficient. The goal of the program is to reduce the number of families living in poverty through employment and community resources. The Job Opportunity and Basic Skills Program, or JOBS program, is another DHS program that helps achieve this goal. The JOBS program is Oregon's employment and training program for people on public assistance. Services provided through the JOBS program include job search, work experience, Jobs Plus subsidized employment, support payments, and high school or GED completion for teen parents. Another primary program of DHS is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, called SNAP. A large percentage of Oregonians receive SNAP benefits, and some are able to participate in the SNAP Employment and Training component, known as the Oregon Food Stamp Employment and Training Program, referred to as OFSET. The OFSET program assists clients to gain valuable skills, training, or experience that will improve employment prospects, leading to self-sufficiency and reduced reliance on SNAP benefits. DHS also operates employment programs for special populations. The Senior Community Services Employment Program, SCSEP, funded under the Older Americans Act, serves persons with low incomes who are 55 years old or older and have poor employment prospects. The workforce programs for people with disabilities are provided through the DHS Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, also called VR. VR is governed by Title IV of the WIOA and is a core workforce system program under the law. VR assists people with disabilities to get and keep a job that matches their skills, interests, and abilities. VR staff work in partnership with community and businesses to develop employment opportunities for people with disabilities. The Oregon Employment Department, referred to as OED, operates a public labor exchange responsible for connecting job seekers with employers. It supports economic stability for Oregonians and communities during times of unemployment through the payment of unemployment benefits, serving businesses by recruiting and referring qualified applicants to jobs, and providing resources to a diverse group of job seekers in support of their employment needs. OED also develops and distributes quality workforce and economic information to promote informed decision-making. The OED Workforce Operations Division is funded and governed by Title III of WIOA, also referred to as the Wagner-Peiser Act. OED is a co-owner of WorkSource Oregon and provides a large portion of staffing and physical infrastructure for Oregon's WorkSource centers and is responsible for shared system outcomes. The Higher Education Coordinating Commission, or HEC, houses the Office of Workforce Investments, called OE, and the Office of Community Colleges and Workforce Development, known as CCWD. The purpose of these offices is to contribute leadership and resources to increase the skills, knowledge, and career opportunities of Oregonians. On behalf of the governor, OE oversees the state's implementation of and funding distribution for local workforce programs under Title I of WIOA, while CCWD administers Title II adult basic education programs. Title II of the Opportunity Act relates to the adult education and literacy programs in Oregon's 17 community colleges, which are an essential component of the education and workforce system. The purpose of the Adult Basic Skills Program is to assist adults in obtaining the knowledge and skills necessary for work, further education, family self-sufficiency, and community involvement. Basic skills include reading, writing, math, speaking and listening in English, GED and adult high school preparation, and basic computer literacy. Title I, Subtitle B, comprises workforce development activities that are directed by local workforce boards, known as LWIBs. Each state is divided into individual workforce areas that are designated by the governor, and every county is represented on their local workforce development board. Oregon has 9 local workforce areas, and each has a local workforce board. The local workforce boards are designated by the governor to develop local workforce plans and direct and prioritize funding toward workforce development activities. The LWIBs provide a convening table for labor, economic development, elected officials, education, workforce development, and human service providers to create community-based solutions to workforce challenges and efficiently address local labor market needs and statewide priorities. They lead employer engagement to promote business representation, develop linkages, implement effective strategies, and ensure workforce investments support the needs of employers. The local boards serve as neutral, independent brokers of workforce services. As such, they invest in workforce services across the state and purchase contracted services that are provided to support talent development, job creation, income progression, business competitiveness, and expanded opportunities for citizen prosperity. Services are provided to adults, dislocated workers, and youth. The majority of youth served are low income with complex barriers to employment. Youth services connect participants to career opportunities, training, and one-on-one support in order to prepare them for post-secondary education and career ladder employment. Youth gain the essential skills needed to be successful and self-sufficient. Local workforce boards are responsible for certification of WorkSource Oregon centers in their local areas. They are accountable for shared workforce system outcomes as co-owners of WorkSource Oregon. They negotiate local performance measures, and they conduct program oversight to ensure appropriate use, management, and investment of workforce resources. In partnership with the Oregon Employment Department and other agencies, contracted service providers within the WorkSource Oregon centers help customers learn new skills, find employment, and progress in careers, while also assisting employers with recruitment and retention of qualified, skilled employees. WorkSource Oregon is the primary vehicle for delivering workforce services across the state. The Opportunity Act requires that the Title III services provided by OED are co-located with other service providers, like the Title IB contracted service providers, at one location. Co-location for other partners, such as DHS, is not required by law. Though the specific configurations may differ from one local area to another, WSO is comprised of multiple agencies and organizations. And while each of these entities may have their own missions, visions, and values, the mission, vision, and values of WorkSource Oregon have been developed to speak on behalf of the broader workforce system. The mission of WorkSource Oregon is to effectively respond to workforce challenges through high-quality services to individuals and businesses, resulting in job attainment, retention, and advancement. Our vision is that of communities where the employment needs of job seekers and businesses are met by solutions delivered effectively through engaged workforce system partners. Our guiding principles include inclusiveness, stewardship, excellence, teamwork, integrity, and relevance. To position the workforce system for relevance and growth, there must be clarity about what WorkSource Oregon is at both the state and local levels, what it offers, and how existing partnerships bear a shared responsibility to create value to additional partners in the future. Leaders from partner agencies were pulled together for a 3-day work session to develop that framework. The outcome is the WorkSource Oregon Operational Standards. They provide the minimum level content and services required to be available at all WSO centers. They also build in an accountability mechanism to ensure that this effort will come to fruition across the entire state. They offer an opportunity to work together to continually improve the system, engage new partners, and better serve Oregon's job seekers, workers, and businesses. At the local level, local leadership teams, or LLTs, are used to manage the implementation of the local WSO system. This includes coordination of services, programs, funding streams, processes, and initiatives among WSO partners to ensure accountability and alignment in support of a seamless public system. LLTs may consist of local board staff, the conveners, OED managers, center managers, contracted service provider management, and staff and representatives from engaged partners, programs, and stakeholders such as DHS, VR, community colleges, and TANF. The local leadership teams address systems and operational topics related to service delivery issues and improvements, implementation of programs, processes, and current initiatives, program and center performance, sector strategy implementation, business recruitment services, and implementation of local area strategic plans as they relate to center functions. The local leadership teams also serve as a communication mechanism between regional, local area, and center levels. The WSO operational standards support the direction of WIOA as well as the expectations of the Governor and the Oregon Workforce Investment Board. The standards foster mechanisms to better align resources across partners and agencies in an effort to provide the most customer-centered services possible. The expectations of staff within WorkSource Oregon, as outlined in the WSO operational standards, are numerous. The opportunities for each of us to have a positive impact on our workplace, our workforce system, and our communities are even greater in number. As representatives of Oregon's workforce system, we need to continually strive to uphold the values and guiding principles of WorkSource Oregon. To be human-centered, valuing others and ourselves as unique individuals. To be open to collaboration and the free exchange of ideas. To strive for excellence for all customers and ourselves. We are a system of effective teams that emphasize high levels of trust, cooperation, and a commitment to excellent communication. To hold ourselves accountable and continually pursue excellence. The role of each and every one of us is to encourage and empower our teammates to exercise independent judgment in meeting customer needs and to inspire confidence and trust. Oregon's workforce system must continuously improve and evolve to ensure we provide the best service possible to Oregonians, and each of us must contribute our part to that evolution. The power of a team, a group of people, striving in coordinated manner towards excellence is powerful. Now that we appreciate our part in the bigger picture of the Oregon workforce system and its many diverse initiatives, we can realize the potential impact we could achieve if we can align our efforts, resources, and energy to serve our shared customers together. Where do you see opportunity to do things differently, do things better? Did you hear things today that made you think of new possibilities? Pursue those thoughts and put them into action. For more information on any components of this presentation, please contact a member of your local leadership team or local workforce development board.